stage 4, the Polo of Wilkin and Carryhill set the second fastest time, 3 seconds better than Trott and only 4 seconds behind Mike Nathan's Corolla.
At 27 kilometres, the last stage of the day was almost as long as the first, and with no servicing allowed between stages 4 and 5, it would be a tough finish to a hot, fast and dusty day. While the Toyota of Surge still held a handy 32 seconds, even the smallest sliver of a misfortune could turn the tables. Would Hubby continue his kamikaze attack? Would Surge be able to respond? And just how reliable were the S2000 cars after a hard day's rallying? The still quiet farmlands and compacted surface of stage 5 would soon provide the answers. Even the spectators could sense the tension. Others were simply enjoying the view. For John Williams, the first day's 5 stages were a baptism of fire, but his enthusiasm for the rapid S2000 Polo remained undiminished. After a narrow escape on stage 1, nobody could blame Gemmell for taking a more circumspect approach to the remaining stages, but he continued to improve. Kuhn's maturity was a major factor in his title-winning form last year, and he has clearly decided to settle for points in an underperforming car rather than risking retirement.
Left 1, right 1 over crest. 60, caution, crest, adverse, right 9, right 9.
Arguably the most consistent S2000 driver of day 1 was Etienne Lawrence. His measured approach, with only 1 overshoot on stage 1, kept him in a solid third. For the second stage in a row, Damso didn't set the fastest time, but it didn't change the leaderboard. Surge was still on top. Any doubt that JP Damso was coping with the S2000 were dispelled by his inspired drive on stage 5, which earned him exactly the same stage time as his illustrious father. Beckham's determination was also paying dividends. He posted the joint fastest time on stage 5. But the man of the moment was Jan Habich, whose gritty performance, despite a down-on-power car, earned him the stage win and kept him within striking distance of Damso. Surge had every reason to be satisfied after a good day's work in his high-speed office.
So far, you know, we're having quite a good run, and just slight problem with the alternator belt keeps on jumping off, so that's a bit of a worrying in the stage, and the battery is dropping down, so we're losing a bit of power there. So whilst further everything else seems to be all right. You have to keep going, because you can lose on these long stages, you can just lose everything, so you have to keep going.
There seems to be a small electronic problem with the fuel map, and the guys are working hard on it, but it's causing the car not to get full RPM on the long straights. So yeah, we have to find time at other places, but that's a bit hectic because everyone else is trying hard, so we just got to jump a bit further and jump a bit higher. Very high risk.
As the service crews worked against the clock to fettle their high-speed charges, JP had time to reflect on a positive first day.
We'll see by this evening who we more or less placed with, and then we can take it tomorrow and maybe give it a go a bit quicker. But I think the whole season we'll be getting used to the car.
While the S2000 tussle was extremely close, there wasn't nearly the same sense of urgency in N4, although the Verloc sisters were enjoying their ding-dong with the Pizer Hoskin Subaru. Duplessis and Levkovitz were extracting enough pace from their Subaru to closely shadow the latest spec Impreza of arch rivals Ryan and Van Heerden. Now, Rueda's crown piece Mitsubishi Evo was also in the hunt, but transmission problems were looming. The Bosal Jonas Way Subaru of Nick Ryan set exactly the same time as Rueda on stage 5, but was trailing the class leader by minutes now.
Our car has been going well, but I phoned the guy who built the car, and he didn't know that South Africa roads are as clean, as smooth as we have, and they've given us shocks and the spring settings and the whole setup on the shocks for Argentina and Mexico, which is just like the safari, and I'm getting bounced around everywhere and can't brake and you can't handle.
One of the drives of the day was the clean sweep performance of Wilkin and Godrich, who catapulted their Konica Minolta Subaru into a confident class lead. Houghton and Boertes were keeping it safe and on the road in their first N3 outing. While privateers Stroh and Baker were still hanging on to second place in class, but were being hauled in by Fasaki and Lachranzi. The latter was still paying for their stage 1 misfortune. Musa's so-called cautious approach wasn't reflected in his dominating form. After day 1, the results looked like this.
Welcome back to day 2 of the Toyota Dealer Rally, first round of the Sasol South African Rally Championship. Cloud cover did little to dissuade thousands of fans to travel to Caledon for the second half of the rally season's opening round. Roadworks made progress to the spectator point tedious, but the spirits were high. On the day's agenda were 5 more stages, including an on-time finale back in Brackenfell. Of the 4 Caledon stages, only stage 7 was new, with the remainder repeats of day 1. If anything, that suggested even quicker time. JP Damso seemed to relish the prospect.
It's going well so far. I mean, keeping in there with some of the top guys. The times are not too far off them. But traveling at this pace is quick, really quick.
And JP wasn't joking. The average speeds on these smooth Overberg stages are among the highest in the championship. For instance, Serge Damso managed average speeds of more than 130 kilometers an hour on 2 of the first 5 stages. Yes, that's average, not maximum speed. The sound of rally cars in anger is always a draw card for spectators who happily brave the elements to experience the action close up. John Williams, one of the S2000 class's rookie drivers, was using the Toyota Dealer Rally as a valuable opportunity to gain more experience of a car he'd only briefly driven before the event. Johnny Gemmell was finding his feet in his first S2000 outing, but not enough to challenge the leaders. Bergen Fecken sometimes struggles to get into the groove on the day's first stage, and although spectacular, trailed his Volkswagen colleagues by a couple of seconds here. Enzo Kuhn opted for a measured pace, designed to bring the BP Polo home in a points-earning position. Obviously, the fuel mapping issue was still hampering the Volkswagen's progress. JP Damso, on the other hand, was in attack mode and was looking more confident than ever behind the total-backed S2000 Runex. Etienne Lawrence was only 5 seconds faster than JP, but driving a tactical race, intent now on keeping third, while poised to take advantage of any close rival's mishap.
Right 2. Dip right 2, long left 5 over gate. Tightens to a left 6. 200. Maximum crest, long right 2. Into a long right 2. 40.
Jan Habig continued where he left off the day before, pushing the BP Polo beyond its capabilities to closely track the leader. His stage time was only a second off Damso's winning score. But watching Damso was seeing a master at work. Completely in control, his pace was just enough to earn the stage win while pressuring his rivals.
Further back, Tony Ball found himself under unexpected pressure when the Bulwer Park Golf calipers started snagging the rim on the way to the start of stage 6. Attempts at repairs proved fruitless as the clock kept on ticking. Paul decided to soldier on and take his chances. Down the road at the start, class rivals Quibus Ruus and Neil Fourie were already on their merry way. The pair was second in Class A7 overnight. Try as he might, De Wit was still struggling with the A7 team Total Run-X. A lack of confidence in the route notes didn't help either.
But in reality, you know, it's one thing watching it on a DVD and then going over there at 180 km an hour over a blind rise. You're sort of not sure what, if a L2 is a L2 or L4, you know, different cars for different speeds. So you have to build confidence in the notes too, I think, but we're getting there.
Barry Krobler expected to be an early casualty when his Sasol Golf started overheating, but he persevered, and so did the Golf. But nobody in Class A7 could get close to the flying Marc Cronje and Chris Birkin. It's obvious why Toyota has such high hopes for the young star. Marc was also enjoying the route notes.
I'm loving the notes. That to me is what racing's all about. You know, the commitment. You know, when you go circuit racing, you're driving 10 cents. And, you know, you can't always drive 10 cents on the road here, but you've got that sort of commitment. So that's what brings the excitement back.
Cronje may be one of the younger drivers, but not nearly as youthful as 14-year-old Ashley Haig Smith, who made his national rally debut in the navigator's seat of Steve White's Mitsubishi Lancer. What did he think of the experience?
Oh, it feels great, yeah. Oh, amazing, really. Very loose, very tough. It's a great feeling, because I've done now two. I did one with my dad last time. He's A6, and we finished third overall in the one rally and first in class.
But how did it all start?
My dad, he used to race 12 years ago, and then what happened was I saw him, and then I've been servicing for the last 6 years, and then eventually I was old enough to come race and help out, and then be in the seat.
Ashley's mom is always at hand to lend support, and the odd Sami. But does he get nervous?
Nervous every time before a stage, and then once I'm past the first 1 kilometer, 500 meters, I'm perfect, and then straight out I'm fine.
Stage 7 was the only new stage of the day, and not surprisingly, it was fast and long, just like most of the others. The pastoral surroundings make this part of the Overberg one of the most scenic in the Western Cape, but the